session this afternoon, let's have the second unit, which is all about speaking mathematically. Now, to begin with, let's have this phrase, mathematics as a language. Mathematics is a universal language, the only one shared by all people, regardless of culture, religion, or gender. A person uses the same calculation in budgeting or buying foods or goods, though some are using different procedures, but the computation of interest earned is just the same. Math can be considered as a language because it has all the aforementioned components of language, like the English language. Mathematics has vocabulary, it has nouns, it has pronouns, and it has verbs. However, there are some sentences that make no sense in English language because mathematics has its own vocabulary, grammar, and syntax too. Mathematics as language plays an important role in proper solving of problems and proofs of theorems and conjectures. The use of numbers in ordering, labeling, and expressing quantities to solve problems will then be translated into mathematical language and symbols for better understanding. So these are the important fundamental elements in mathematics. Numbers. You had this one when you had Math 100. So Math 100 was all about this first fundamental element, which is all about numbers. The second one, we will be dealing with that today. That's all about sets. Same thing with relations and functions. So to begin with, let's focus on sets. What is a set, by the way? Do you still remember what a set is? Any volunteers, please? Can you still remember what a set is in mathematics?
It is denoted with curly brackets, sir.
Yes, it makes use of curly brackets. I agree with that. It makes use of curly brackets. What else inyong ma-remember about a set? So here's the definition. A set is a well-defined collection of distinct objects. Again, it is a well-defined collection of distinct objects. The objects in a set are called the elements or the members of the set. And we use the capital letters when we denote sets. So when I name a set, I make use of capital letters. And the small letters denote the elements of a set. Again, capital letters usually denote a set. Lowercase letters, this denote the elements of a set, or probably any word or any number in which example probably say. Okay? Now, let's continue. A well-defined set is a set in which we know for sure if an element belongs to that set. So as I mentioned a while ago, a set is a collection of objects. So it is well defined if you know for a fact, then you are very sure that that element or that element belongs to that set. Example, the set of all provinces in Region 7. It is well defined. Why? Because we can name the provinces and there are 4. Who can give me one of the 4 provinces of Region 7? Class, unsa may mga provinces sa Region 7?
Cebu, sir.
Cebu is one. Correct. Another province in Region 7.
Bohol, sir.
Bohol is another. Oh, another province in Region 7. Okay, there are 4. Negros, usang man nga Negros, Occidental or Oriental?
Oriental.
Oriental. And the last one, I heard someone said this a while ago. Siquijor is the 4th province. So these are all the provinces in Region 7. And you know for a fact nga ang Cebu, ang Bohol, ang Negros Oriental, and ang Siquijor are the only provinces in Region 7. So it's well defined. Kay wala may laing tubag ana. Katura man jud upat. Let's have another example. The set of all heroes in Mobile Legends is well defined. It is well defined. Why? Because who can name me a hero in Mobile Legends?
Hellcourt.
Hellcourt. Sige, what else? Usapan nga hero inyong nahibawan.
Bane, sir.
Bane, Hylos. Sige, what else? You name mo. Again?
Laila, sir.
Si Laila. Okay, marksman. Oh,
Roger.
si Roger. Okay, what else?
Rafaela.
Rafaela. What else?
Benedita, sir.
Benedita. Okay, mauna sila. Well-defined siya nga naman. Mapanganlan man ako ang mga heroes sa Mobile Legends. Okay? Let's have another one. The set of best TV shows of all times is not well-defined. Sir, why is it not well-defined? Because it's just a matter of opinion. Okay, what if here comes one person? I will say, that's not a best TV show. This one is the best TV show. Here's another person. This is the best TV shows. Kana siya, wa man na siya appeal. Batik man na siya. Depende naman na sa taste sa nag-answer. So, that makes the third example a not well-defined set. Okay? Now, let's have an activity. You tell me whether it is well-defined or not well-defined. Here's our first item. Vowels in the word probability. Well-defined. What will be the answer for that? What are vowels?
Sir.
In the word probability, what are the vowels?
O, A, I.
Okay, O, A, and I. Oh, that answers our first example. Second example, Presidents of the Philippines. Is that well defined? Or not well defined? It is well defined because we can enumerate the presidents of the Philippines, right? Who was our first Filipino president? Emilio Aguinaldo, am I correct?
Yes, sir.
And the most recent president is? It's Rodrigo Duterte. So we can name, before Rodrigo Duterte, we had Ninoy Aquino. Before that, before Aquino, we had Arroyo, GMA, right? Before Arroyo, katong si Erap. It was Erap Estrada. Okay. So we can name all the presidents of the Philippines. So making that example well defined. Let's have another example. Delicious Filipino or Cebuano delicacies.
Well defined.
Unsa may mga Cebuano delicacies nato?
Lechon, sir.
Lechon. What else?
Taron, sir.
Toron. What else?
Rosquillo, sir.
Galleta, Rosquillos. Now, here's the question. Naay mukaon ana sa torta na moingon siya nga dili man ni siya lami. That's an opinion. And here's my question. Delicious Cebuano delicacies, is it well defined or not well defined?
Not
Not
well
well
But
defined.
it's not well defined because when I say delicious, it might not be delicious for some people. You get my point? So making that
Yes,
not
sir.
well defined. Okay, let's have the fourth example. Two-digit positive integers divisible by 5. Is that well defined or not well defined? Two-digit integers divisible by 5.
Well defined.
It's well defined. Who can give me an example of a two-digit integer divisible by 5?
20, sir.
20, correct. What else? Two digits man ng 20, 2 ug 0. What else?
10.
10 is correct. What else? 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 until you get to 95. Those are all two-digit positive integers divisible by 5. So we can enumerate them. Next, great cities in the Visayas. Is that well defined or not well defined? Great cities in the Visayas.
Not well defined, sir.
It's not well defined.
Not
What makes a city great? So dili siya. It's a matter of opinion again. It's a matter of opinion again. Not unless if I want to make this well defined, I'm gonna be saying great cities in the Visayas according to their GDP or probably according to their tourism. Nga pila ka buok mga tourist every month or every day or in a year. So making it now well defined. So pero kanang great cities alone nga wala siya criteria, wala siya criteria nga nakapag-rate niya, it's not a well-defined set. Let's have this one. Great female Filipino singers.
Not well defined.
It's not well-defined as well. Who can name me a female Filipino singer? Morissette Amon, Regine Velasquez, Shaja Padilla, KZ Tandingan. There are a lot of female Filipino singers. Now, Morissette Amon may be great for you, but for some, she's not great at all. Because it's a matter of opinion. But if I'm gonna be saying, great female Filipino singers according to their nahalin nga records, pwede na siyang ma-well-defined. Okay? Is this clear, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Let's have more. Paspasanin nato. You just tell me well-defined or not. This one.
Well defined.
That's well-defined. You can name
Well-defined.
all of them. You can name all of them. Oh, di na lang tamo pangan ana. Okay, that's well-defined. Next. Set of Valorant agents.
Well defined.
It's well-defined.
Well defined.
We can name all the Valorant agents. What about this? Kini siya nahatag na ni mo, sir. That's an X. Okay. The set of best Filipino dishes or nahatag na ni mo pareha itong Cebuano delicacies. The set of countries in Asia.
Well defined.
It's well-defined because I can enumerate all the countries in Asia. What about the set of great countries?
Not.
It's not well-defined. But if I'm gonna make this well-defined, butangan ako according to their GDP or probably their inflation rate because this will determine whether the country is really a progressive country or not according to the GDP or inflation rate. Okay? So we have here our first activity. Let's go to how do we write sets, by the way? How do we write sets? There are 3 ways. Using the roster method, which we call the listing of the elements, describing the elements, and using a set builder notation. So let's begin first with using a roster notation. A roster notation, can I have a volunteer please to read the definition?
Ako, sir.
Yes, go on. Thank you.
Roster notation is the method of describing a set by listing each element of the set.
Okay, the keyword there is listing the elements. Okay, it's listing the elements. Example, let C be the set of all provinces in Region 7. So the roster notation would be this one. I will simply list all the provinces in Cebu, in Region 7, namely Cebu, Bohol, Negros Oriental, and Siquijor. So kining naka-red, mao ni gitawag na ko roster notation. Another example, set A is the set of odd numbers greater than 0 but less than 10. So what will be the roster for this? Who can give me all the elements? Take note, odd numbers greater than 0 and less than 10.
1,
1. What else?
3, sir.
3.
3,
Sunod.
5,
5.
7, and 9.
7 and 9. There you go. Oh, that answers our roster notation for set A. Okay? Let's have more examples. More on notation. Sometimes we can't list all the elements of a set. Example, Z here is a set of integers. Again, Z is a set of integers. We cannot write all the integers because there are infinitely many integers. Na ay negative integers, na ay positive integers. Ang negative integers, infinite na siya. The same with the positive integers. So meaning, I'll be making use of the 3 dots now. So kining 3 dots, unsay tawag aning 3 dots by the way?
Epilepsy.
Hapit na siya, pero naalay na balinga letters ato. This is
Ellipsis.
an ellipsis. Okay. That's an ellipsis. Next, again, the 3 dots is an ellipsis and it denotes infinity. There you go. And then, this is now how to write the set of integers. For the negative ones, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, you have the 3 dots. Nani siya comma, by the way. And then 0, 1, 2, 3, you have the 3 dots as well. So here, going to the positive integers, kini to the negative integers. Okay? Another one is the set of whole numbers. So whole numbers starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. This one means it continues forever. Next, using roster method. The set can be defined by listing its elements again, separated by a comma, and enclosed within braces, the curly brackets that was mentioned a while ago. This is called the roster method. So here we go. These are examples. There you go. Another example, and another one. So these are all examples of roster method. Let's go to the second way of writing a set, describing the elements. The set can be defined where possible by describing the elements clearly in words. Examples. R is a set of multiples of 5. This is an example because this describes set R, and set R is simply the set of multiples of 5. V is the set of vowels in the English alphabet. M is the set of months of a year. Okay, let's go back here. Who can give me multiples of 5? When I say multiples of 5, those are numbers divisible by 5. Numbers that can be divided by 5. So what are multiples of 5? Correct. Or so on and so forth. I'll be using the ellipsis now. Kinesia is the listing. Kinesia is the description of the element. If I'm gonna be writing this using roster, what are the vowels? A, E, I, O, and U. And this one is the describing the elements. Same thing with M is a set of months of a year. Okay? Now, let's do the third one, the set builder notation. When it is not convenient to list all the elements of a set, we use a notation that employs the rules in which an element is a member of that set. This is what you call a set builder notation. Example. V is a set wherein the people, take note, such that, this is read as such that, they are citizens registered to vote in Maricopa County. So there are a lot of people and it is not convenient to list them all. So instead, I'll be having the set builder notation for that. Another one. X such that X is greater than 5. Again, X such that X is greater than 5. So I will be having 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. Okay? The symbol, again, this symbol is read as such that. Let's continue. Using a set builder notation. The set can be defined by describing the elements using mathematical statements. And this is called a set builder notation. So I have here a lot of examples. So we have here, C is the set of elements X such that X is an integer more than -3. We have here another way of doing set builder notation, which is read as C is a set of elements X such that X is a city in the Philippines. So I have here an activity again. So I would like you to fill up the missing parts in the table. So we have here the describing the elements, the using of the set builder, and roster. Now we are already given the roster for our first item. What will be, how do we write describing the sets for this one? A is a set of what? Moment na, inganaon man na pag-start og describing the elements. A, because we are using the letter A, is a set of, what are these letters?
Vowel letters.
There you go. Set A is a set of the vowels of the English alphabet. And how do I make use of the set builder notation? It's so simple. A is equal to, I will be using X such that X is a vowel of the English alphabet. So this is our first example. Let's go to the second example. How do we write the set builder notation when you are given the description of the elements now? We have B is equal to, then bracket, we have X such that X is, isumpay na ni siya class, is an even positive integer less than 12. What are even positive integers less than 12? Class, what are even positive integers less than 12?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, there you go. That answers even man. So it should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right? So this is now the answer to our question. Let's have the last one. The last one. Describing the elements. You are already given the set builder notation. What will be the description of the elements here? C is a set of unsa maisumpay nato ato.
Counting numbers.
There you go. C is a set of counting numbers. And how do you write it in roster method? How do you write it in roster method? Unsa may mga counting numbers?
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven,
Okay.
eight, 9, 10.
So on and so forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. Those are counting numbers. So this is a very good presentation on how to write sets. Is this clear, by the way?
Yes, sir.
And let's move on to the types of sets. Do you still remember the different types of sets? Can you still recall the different types of sets? Napay naka-remember unsay mga types of sets? Sige na lang. Let's have the first one. The first type of set is what you call a finite set. Can I have somebody to read the definition of finite set, please?
It contains only a countable number of elements.
Okay, it contains a countable. Maihap ang number of elements. Example, municipalities of Cebu Province. Unsay mga municipality sa Cebu Province?
Malbual, sir.
Malboal is one. What else? What else? What are other municipalities of Cebu Province? Bugo, Santander. Kana sila maihap ba?
Dalaget.
Dalaget. Maihap ba na nato, class? Can we count them?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can count them. Okay? Let's continue. Infinite set. Can I have somebody to read the definition of infinite set?
The counting of elements has no end.
Okay. Again, the counting of elements has no end. Kung ang finite, countable, ang infinite, no end. Example, set of positive integers. It's infinite. Okay? Let's have the third. Another example is that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you have the ellipsis there, the 3 dots. Another type of set is what you call an empty set or a null set. Any volunteer, please, to read the definition?
Set that contains no elements. The symbol used is
Okay, there you go.
empty.
No elements. This will be our symbol or pwede pud ni siya. The symbol for empty or null. This is an example. Prime Minister in the Philippines. Do we have a Prime Minister in the Philippines?
Wala, sir.
Wala, because we have a president lang. Unit set. Set with one element. Who can give me an example of a set that will only have one element? I'm gonna give you an example. Mayor of Cebu City. Who is the mayor of Cebu City right now?
Michael Ramos.
Michael Rama. He took over when Mayor Labella, right? When Mayor Labella, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So we have here Mayor of Cebu City. Usara jud na siya, sir. Si Michael Rama. Then we have the universal set. The set containing all objects or elements and of which all other sets are subsets. This is an example. If I'm gonna be having set A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and set B 2, 4, 6, 8, therefore, ang universal set ana is ang tanang elements nga naa ni A ug naa ni B, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. Mo ni pasabot nako sa universal set. Okay? Are the first 5 types of sets clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, your first activity for next week, I'll be giving you 2 activities here. Ang first activity is, it's simply identifying whether it's finite, infinite, empty, or unit. Again, ang answers activity nato next week, first activity, finite, infinite, empty, or unit. Sige, I'm gonna give you an example. Nga the female mayor of Talisay City. The present female mayor of Talisay City. Is it finite, infinite, empty, or unit?
Unit, sir.
Sir.
Unit. Nga namang unit.
One element naman.
Pero ang pangutanan nako karon, I said man, the present female mayor of Talisay City. Who is the mayor of Talisay City? Kisay mayor sa Talisay City. Do you know Mayor Samsam Gulyas? Class, do you know Mayor Samsam Gulyas?
Yes, sir.
Is he, female or male? Male.
Male.
Ako example gani ha. Female mayor of Talisay City.
So, null set
It's
siya,
null
sir.
or empty. Correct. Pero your answer nga, usara siya, sir, kay usara man dyan ang mayor. It's unit. Pero considering that I said present present female mayor of Talisay, it's null because the mayor right now is a male mayor. Okay? So be careful with that. Be careful with that. Another example. The 3 major islands in the Philippines. Major islands in the Philippines.
Finite set.
It's finite. Okay, it's finite. What about the negative integers?
Infinite
It's
set.
infinite. It's infinite. Okay? So, mo na inyong activity. First activity, that's activity number 2.1. Or rather, activity lang na ay. Di na sa ko mag-mention og 2.1. It's activity for next week. Finite, infinite, empty, or unit. Okay? Let's continue with the other type of sets. So, we have also equal set. If the sets have exactly the same elements, again, if the sets have exactly the same elements, example, F is a set that contains M, A, N, G, O. We have another set, set G, containing A, N, G, O, M. What have you noticed with the example? Sige. Kay mo man ni para makabaw tag equal set, mo ni atong tan-awon. Unsay nabantayan ninyo sa atong example sa equal sets?
Same element sila, sir, pero nagkabali na
Correct.
silang arrangement.
If I'm gonna check, sir na ay letter M, sir na ay letter A, sir na ay letter N, sir na ay letter G, and na ay letter O. Kung unsay naa sa F ug naa sa G, kung parehas na silang duha, ang mga elements bahalag nag-interchange, nagkabali-bali, then you call them equal sets. Okay? There's what you call equivalent sets now. Equivalent sets if the sets have the same number of elements. Example, H, A, E, I, O, U. I, B, C, D, E, F. Now, how many elements are there in set H?
5.
Okay, the number of elements in set H is 5. How many elements are there in set I?
5.
It's also 5. So take note, the same number of elements, 5 og 5, they are considered equivalent sets. And this is our symbol for equivalent. This is our symbol for equal sets. Next, joint sets. Sets that have something in common. Sets nga naay common elements. Example, unsa may common ni J og ni K?
2.
Si number 2.
Two, sir.
Oh, si number 2 kay common man na, then J and K are joint sets. Kay naman sila common number. Disjoint sets that have no common elements. If I'm gonna give you these two sets here, na common si L og si M?
Wala, sir.
Wala. Therefore, these are disjoint sets because there is no common element between L and M. And lastly, subset. A subset or a set A is a subset of B denoted by this symbol if every element of A belongs to B. Now, any questions about the types of sets? Everything is clear, by the way?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's go to the set operations now. We have here the set operations. Do you still remember the set operations? Katong kini nga symbol, kini nga symbol. Do you still remember that? Sige, para ma-review, this one. The first set operation is what you call the union. The union of sets A and B, written as A union B, is the set of elements that are members of either A or B or both. Meaning, tanang elements ni A o tanang elements ni B maunay A union B. Now, if I'm gonna be having this Venn diagram over here, which region should be shaded? Is it region 1? Is it region 2? Or is it region 3? Asa may i-shade nako dira kung akong gipangita ang union?
R3.
R3. Again, when I say union, tanan ni A ug tanan ni B. So, unsa may i-shade nato dira class?
Tanan, sir.
Tanan. Region 1, Region 3, Region 2. Kay I said, when I say union, tanang elements ni A, tanang elements ni B. So, meaning, i-shade nako tanan. Mao na gipasabot nato basta when we talk about union. Now, let's have an example over here. Let us find the union of the two sets. So, you name me the smallest number B there para atong masunod. Unsa may una na ko isuwat?
1.
1. Next to 1.
2.
Next.
3.
3, 4, 5,
5. 6.
7,
7. 8. And 9.
Si 8, kapila isuwat si 8. Kaya mo na ni pangutanan ako because we will be very technical on this.
Kausara, sir.
Kausahon. Very good. Number 9. There you go. Those are the union of A and B. And again, it's simply listing all the elements of both A and B and do not repeat the same elements. Let's have another example. We have our sets X and Y. What is the union of X and Y? Sige, go. What will be the union?
A, B, C, D,
Go on.
A,
Go on.
F, G.
There you go. That will be the union of X and Y. Okay? Now, let's go to intersection. When I say intersection, this will be the symbol. Common. So, kung mag-drawing na di ay kuaning Venn diagram, asa may i-shade na kuan na?
Sir.
Ang region number 3. That will be the shaded region. Because region 3 is the common region of A and B. Let's have an example. Unsa may common na nasulti na nimo, sir. Ang common ni A ug ni B is the number 8. As you can see, in our first example, the number 8 is common. Therefore, the intersection of A and B is the number 8. Let's go to our second example. What is the intersection of X and Y?
C.
Start with the first letter there. Para
And
B. B, sir. Correct.
C.
C. Okay. Sunod.
E, sir.
Letter E. Naapay lain? Wala na. There you go. That's the intersection of X and Y. And again, it's simply the common elements, both X and Y, nga same nilang duha nga elements. Let's have another one. Difference. The difference of sets A and B is a set of elements that are in A but not in B. And this is denoted by A minus B. So meaning, sir, if I'm going to be having this region, this Venn diagram, if I'm going to have A minus B, balik sa definition ha, the difference of sets A and B is the set of elements that are in A but not in B. A but not in B. Kaya ang A may nusan man ni B. So meaning, sir, asa may i-shade na ko dira, sir? Is it region 1, region 3, region 2? A minus B. When I say A minus B, class, ang answer ni Ana, class, nasa A. Tangtangon lang tong mga elements nga napod sa B. So meaning di ay ang i-shade ra na ako, Ana, ang region number 1. R1 ra. Ayo apila ang common. Dapat di siya makitaan sa B as well. Okay? So let's have an example on this. We have here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for set A. For set B, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So again, ang focus nato is sa A. Na diri ang tubag makitaan. Minusan nako ni B. Unsa may minus nako diri, class? Sir, na ay 6, sir. Okay, i-cancel si 6. Sir, ang 8, sir, i-cancel si 8. Sir, ang 10, sir, i-cancel si 10. So, unsa may tubag aning A minus B? 2, 4. Kana ra siya. 2 and 4. Ayo apila ang B. Kaya again, ang answers nato makit-an ra ni A. Gikuhaan lang siya sa elements nga naapod ni B. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if I'm gonna be turning things around, if I'm gonna have B minus A, this time I'll focus over B. Then I'm gonna be canceling, sir, cancel si 6. Unsa pa'y makancel ani, class?
8,
8. What
Eight.
else?
10, sir.
10,
O, unsa may answer ninyo sa B minus A?
7, and 9.
7 and 9.
7, 9.
That's correct. So that's how you get the set difference. Okay? Is the set difference clear?
Yes, sir.
Let's
Yes.
go to the complement. The complement of a set A, written this way, is defined as the set of elements that are in the universal set but not in set A. So meaning ang universal set, kuhaan lang siya sa set A, mauna siya complement of A. Okay? Now let's have an example. By the way, this is the Venn diagram. As you can see, this is the universal set. Kini siyang shaded part, mauni siya ang answer sa A complement. Kay dapat man dili siya makit-an ni A. Mauni pasabot man anang A complement. So if I'm gonna have an example, we have here the universal set. Kuwangan ni siya number 7. Kuwangan ni siya number 9. Sorry for that. Okay. So tangtangon nako ang 6, ang 7, ang 8, ang 9, o ang 10. Unsa may nahibilin sa universal set karon?
1, 2, 4, sir.
1, 2, 4. Mo ni answer nato. That's difference. Set no, this is complement. Set complement. Sorry for that. This is not set difference, but set complement. Okay? Let's continue. Okay. Let's determine sets from the Venn diagram. Use the Venn diagram to determine what is the universal set. Panganlitan ng letters nga naan dira sa ato ang Venn diagram. Unsa may mga letters nga nasa Venn diagram?
A,
A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Kinita ng letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G makit-an na sa universal set. Now, here's my question. Unsa man ang mga elements ni B?
E,
D and E is right. Sorry for that. D and E. Sir, D ug E na anak ni set B. Now, here's another question. Set of elements in A but not in B. Elements in A nga wala sa B.
A, B,
A, B, C. Okay? Next, set of elements in U that are not in B. So, tangtangon lang ni ang elements nga naa ni B. Mo ni answer na ako aning letter D, which is?
A, B, C, D, F, G.
That's correct. And lastly, the set of elements in both A and B. Common ni A ug B unsa man?
D.
D. O mo ni ato ang using the Venn diagram. Now let's have more examples. Finding set complements. You have there tangtanga lang ning 5. Naani missing dire nga number 7. Number 7 ang missing din. Okay, there you go. Now, how do we get a complement here? Di ba may nusa nato atong i-eliminate ang 1, i-eliminate ang 3, ang 4 ug ang 7. Unsa may nahibilin dira sa universal set?
2, 5, 6, 8, and 9.
That's right. O mo ni answer nato 2, 5, 6, 8 and 9. Okay? Let's have finding the intersection. Unsay intersection sa letter A?
Kapag sila buwan. Ito. Pagkabot ba? Kaya kung yung kiko naman yan.
Okay, unsay common anang A?
8, sir.
8.
8, 10.
8, 10. Maura? Oh, there you go. 8 and 10 ang answer. Letter B. This is letter B. Unsa may common ining letter B?
Wala, sir.
Wala. So, unsa isuwat nako basta wala? Kana. Pwede pod. Ingana. Okay? Let's go to letter C. Unsay answer niyo sa letter C? Ang answer ana class is also empty. Empty pod ang intersection ana niya. Okay? That's a general concept. The intersection of a set and an empty set is always empty. Now, let's have more examples. Union this time. Unsa may union aning letter A? Who can give me the union for letter A? Class, what's the union of letter A?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Correct. You just simply list all the numbers nga naadira sa sets. Okay? Letter B. What is the answer for the union for letter B?
1, 2,
1, 2, 3,
4,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Correct. And letter C is
1, 3,
5, 7, and 9.
oh, ayun naapilang empty. 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 alone. Do not write empty anymore. Okay? So this is about union. Let's go to performing set operations. This time ako ipang combine. Okay? Okay, dili man ta mo settle lang sa union alone. Ako butang ag complement. Okay. Unsa may A union B? Isuwat na ko ang A union B. 1, 3,
3,
go on.
8,
9, 10.
Okay. Sunod, aduna tong universal set. Meaning, tanggalo nako si 1, tanggalo nako si 3, tanggalo nako ang 7, tanggalo nako si 8, si 9, ug si 10 kay tungod ani nga symbol complement. Unsa may nahibilin sa atong universal set karon?
4, 5, 6.
There you go. O man ni answer na to. 2, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? Letter B. Unsa may A complement. Sige, tanawan ninyo. Sir, tanggalo na ko ning mga nambira sa universal set. Unsay mahibilin? So you tell me now, what numbers will be left kung tangtangon ng 1, 3, 7, ug 9 sa universal set? Again, nag-unak 8. Let me write the numbers again. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Tanggalo na ko si 1, tangtangon si 3, tangtangon ang 7, tangtangon ang 9. Unsay nahibilin?
2, 4,
5, 6,
10.
Okay. So mo ni A complement. 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10. Unsa may B complement? Tangtanga ang 3. O akong tanggalon si 3. Diri ko sa pikas na po. Tanggalon si 7, si 8, o si 10. Unsay nahibilin?
1, 2, 4, 5,
6, 8, 10.
Okay. Umo na nahibilin. Now, unsa may common aning duha kay mao man ni siya nga symbol, intersection man na. Unsa may intersection sa A complement ug B complement?
2, 4, 5, 6.
There you go. O mo ni answer na to. 2, 4, 5, 6. Is our example clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, let's have this figure over here. Focus ta dere. If I'm gonna be saying A union B, it means all the elements, right? So, unsa man ang a region? Is it region 1, region 2, 3, or 4?
Both regions.
Region 1, region 2,
2
and 3. Mo na union. When I say the complement of the union of A and B. Unsa may answer an? Unsa may nasgawas?
4.
4. O mo ni answer na ako. 4. If I'm gonna have this one, intersection of A and unsa may intersection ni A ug B?
2.
2. If I'm gonna have the complement of that, unsa may nasgawas sa 2?
1 and 3.
And
4.
oh, ayaw pila.
4.
Ayaw kalimti si 4. 1, 3, and 4. If I'm gonna be having A complement, unsay A complement? Unsay A complement? Ang A complement dapat disregard ning duha. Unsa may naa sa gawa sa A?
4.
3 ug 4. Oh, let's write 3 ug 4. Unsa gay B? Unsay B? 2 ug 3. Unsa may common anang duha?
3.
So, there you go. 3 ang answer nako dira. Okay? Last example. So, this time, unsa may set A?
1, 4.
1 ug 2. Ang set A. Ang katong gi-answer sa imong classmate, 1 ug 4 was B complement. Mo to'y answer sa B complement. Kay tangtango na ko si 2 ug si 3 ang nahibilin si 1 ug si 4. So unsay tubag ninyo anang union?
1, 2,
1, 2, and 4. There you go. So that will be the end of our first session about sets. Next meeting, next week, we will be having problem solving. 4 sets. Now, again, ang first activity next week, duha ka activities akong ihatag. Activity number 1 is katong identify finite, infinite, null, or empty. Ang second activity is all about set operations. Again, it's all about